All right, thank you. Then we will move forward with our second presentation, the High School Spotlight.
Yes, indeed. Our second presentation is the School Spotlight on Fairfield Senior High School. So at this time, I will turn it over to our principal, Mr. Ryan Bellamy.
Good evening, Mr. Begley, members of the board. We appreciate the time to come and talk to you guys tonight. We're very excited about this. But first, I want to thank you just for your constant support of Fairfield High School and our students and our staff each and every year. I'll have my crew kind of come up here. We'll kind of go through this pretty quickly, but we're very excited this year to start a new program called our pre-apprenticeships. So kind of through my time here at Fairfield High School, taking over as the voting principal, this year 3 was really geared towards trying to get the community involvement. And then getting Mr. Malberg over here as an assistant principal. He has some experience with the pre-apprenticeships through Hamilton, and we started to kind of collaborate our ideas and came up with some opportunities. So what this has allowed us to do is partner with local businesses and organizations to then start to allow what we call pipelines for these businesses, for our students to start to network and start to build these relationships, whether they are going into the career field right out of high school or whether they're going to college so that they can network and hopefully find professions right out of college. What we started to notice is we're approaching about 40% of our student population are not going to college. So they're either going to military or they're going directly into the workforce. So for us, we see like, hey, there's a change that we need to do here at Fairfield High School to meet the needs of those students. So we feel, hey, if we can continue to partner and connect with all these local businesses, because there's so many around the city of Fairfield, this gives us a great opportunity to continue to set up our students for success once they get their diploma in May and continue to move forward. So I'm not sure. Next slide. Oh, there we go, right here. Perfect. So what pre-apprenticeships are, it gives students the opportunity to explore various industries. So for this year, we had 4, and we'll talk about those here in just a minute. But the nice piece of it is it also gives what's called a 12-point industry credential for graduation. So some students that maybe not score as high on a state test, maybe just not good test takers or whatever the reason may be, this now allows a new pathway for our students, not only to gain graduation, but also to build a relationship and hopefully a job in the very near future. With this, the pathways, but also kind of just to continue to strengthen in our community involvement and businesses. We had 4 this year. We have like 3 more added for next year. And our hope is to continue to add that and hopefully get into double digits possibly even next year for more opportunities. So that's kind of the broad look at it. And at this point, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Malberg. I'm going to warn you, he gets very excited about this. So just get yourself prepared. The energy is going to come here in just a minute. Mr. Malberg.
I've been telling myself to take deep breaths and stay mellow. But to be honest, it's an exciting thing, and it's personal because people in my close family, when I think about them in school, this was not a place where they had huge visions of what college could look like for them. And so for them, be it from my dad to my brother, they found success through trades. And now when I look at particularly my brother, and I see the success that he's having, not taking that traditional path, I think that there's other people just like him in our school today. And so as I get into the district and I get to know our students, I learn that we have an amazing student body with a variety of skills and experiences coming from where they're at right now. When we sat down and looked at the numbers, and to echo Mr. Bellamy, 40% of our students not taking that, as I graduated from here in 2009, that traditional path of going that 4-year college route, I realized we need to uphold our vision, and I pulled it out and put it on our opening slide, to empower students to compete in successfully in a complex, changing world. I mean, the reality is the jobs are there, and the earlier we can begin preparing our students, our young men and women, to gain those skills, soft skills as well as the technical skills to enter that field, it sets them ahead of the game and ahead of the competition. Our students are going to come out with a 12-point industry credential in pre-apprenticeships, as well as a variety of industry credentials like OSHA 10, as well as Google Analytics and some others. So at the start of this year, to get that rolling, we had to look at what Ohio calls a pre-apprenticeship. On the screen, you can see a variety of essentials that needed to be a part of the plan. So what we did is we looked at these essentials from training and curriculum, hands-on learning, the ability to partner with an apprenticeship and have an opportunity to earn an industry-recognized credential. And we just had to ask, okay, how do we do that within a traditional school, right? Well, the reality is we have a strong partnership already with Butler Tech. And we have a career pathways class right here inside the school. At the start of this year, every student in Career Pathways was working on a industry-recognized credential in customer service and sales, which is great. But the reality is not every student sitting in that room, that doesn't echo what their future plans are. So Mr. Bellamy gave the green light to use that as a test run. And so what we did is we partnered with Ms. Taylor, that teacher, to say, hey, what are some different pathways we could offer? And we went to the community and had 4 different businesses say, yes, we are in. I want to thank Mercy Health, Casey, the Consortium of African American Early Childhood Educators, Performance Automotive, as well as BSN Sports for giving up their time. Professionals in each of these fields have been coming into the school starting in, it was early February, and they began meeting with the same group of students through Career Pathways who said, I'm interested in that pathway. And then we went to study halls and said, hey, these businesses are going to come in on these times. Who's interested? Oh. And then through conversation, I mean, I'll be honest, I had some kids in my office for discipline or attendance. One student in particular, I said, hey, you know, you're on an attendance plan. What's going on? What do you need? And he's like, well, you know, I Uber to school, and then I Uber to work. And I asked him, well, how do you pay for that? He's like, well, I Uber to work. Wow, like you're more responsible than me at that age. So I said, what are you interested in? And he said, well, I'd love to get a job in healthcare. I said, I'm going to write your name on a Post-it and I'm hanging it on my wall. I'm going to seek to get a partner. Mercy Health opened up, and that was the first person I went to. So there's stories like that across the board. And so we're trying to cast a wide net to bring interested students in. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to play a video. I chatted with a few of those students, and they're going to share a little bit with you. And then I will let my friends Elliot and Simone share a little bit more about their experiences.
This year, Fairfield High School has worked to boost our partnerships with local businesses to provide a variety of career training opportunities for students, helping them gain real-life experiences while also gaining tangible skills to take with them to make an intentional choice for their future career plans.
Ooh, judge-free zone.
So,
What did his high school coach tell him?
his high school coach cut him because he didn't feel that he had the skills to play at that level.
At a high
Going
school
back to
level.
university.
Where is it? It is much more beneficial for me to say, hey, heads up, what would you rather hear? Hey, I got a little bit of a delay coming, or, oh, I didn't know that you hadn't received your stuff yet. Everybody would much.
Hi, I'm Maya Kampmeier, and I've been connecting with the business BMI Sports.
And what have you been doing with BSN Sports?
I've been working on a project for our show choir, and I'm in show choir, so I made a new t-shirt. It talks about like skills, like managing skills, and about communication, and he lets us work on our project.
I am choosing Mercy Health to learn from. One of the career paths I am choosing is either nurse practitioner or RN or a traveling nurse. I chose this pathway because it's been a career I've wanted to take on since I was little. I've seen my mother take this pathway, I've seen my auntie take this pathway, and they're all successful in this. I have learned that when we've learned about the arteries, different parts of our bodies, how to tell if something's wrong or not. They've given us opportunities, free scholarships, and all. Our next steps, they have offered us to come and work with them if we don't take the path of going to college. But if we do take the path of going to college when we get out of college, then we will have somewhere to work and not just out looking.
My name is Alvin Helen. I am connected to automotive. It would be very beneficial for me in the future, help me make a lot of money, And if I do have my own car, I'd fix it myself or my friend.
Sante, and I chose this because I've always been interested in automotive performance, and this is a good way for me to enter that industry, and it's helped me plan what type of trade I would take after high school or what college I'll go to after high school to pursue that industry, to be able to pursue my dreams.
All right, and now I'm going to let you hear from a couple students, a little bit more personal experience from these pre-apprenticeships. First, Elliot Ampuma is going to share about his experience in our healthcare pathway.
Hi, my name is Elliot Ampuma, and me personally, I chose the Mercy Health pre-apprenticeship. This pre-apprenticeship has taught me multiple valuable things in the medical field, such as taking pulse and checking blood pressure. Mine is very high right now. And this really resonates with me because I like to become a dentist. And this has really inspired me to take a deep dive and check other possible job opportunities inside the medical field. I believe this pre-apprenticeship opportunities really help the community and help Fairfield out by giving students hands-on experience, free experience, and volunteering opportunities after school or even during school with excused absences. Thank you.
Thank you, Elliot. Elliot meets about every other Wednesday with Mercy Health right here in the community room. And just this past Wednesday, about 6 folks from Mercy Health came in here. They had stethoscopes out and about 40 students in the room, and each of them met with an adult and they started teaching them how to find pulse. And it was a little awkward because they said, don't find your own, find somebody else's. And so it seems so small on one hand, but so large on another, because it's just the start. It's planting that seed to help a student as they sift through their future career paths. Next up, you're going to hear from Simone Blair. She is in our early childhood ed pathway that couples inside of our child development class.
Hello, everyone. My name is Simone Blair, and I am taking child development at Fairfield High School. I'm currently a sophomore, and one of the main things I want to major in is psychology, and I hope to get a further education and get my doctorate in nursing so that I can furtherly become a primary care doctor. See, the reason that I wanted to get into this field was because I've always had the question, why? So why do people react when things don't go their way? Or why do children not, have the same experience due to the way that they grew up or a different environment? The question has always been why? And Ms. Taylor has had these same questions and allowed herself to find answers to those questions. Ms. Taylor has a center of her own, and she has her own child care center, which is extremely cool for me, and she has allowed herself to get involved in the community while also answering these questions. You see, the most important thing about child development is that not only does it involve you in learning about child development, but it also encourages you in other pathways. You see, when you learn different things about how to solve a problem, that can do with engineering, or maybe how people's brains work, that can be psychology, or maybe even managing behaviors, like learning how to be a parent or a teacher. You see, child development has impacted me in so many ways and furthered my explanation or interest in getting into psychology overall. There was one specific example of when we had made a 3D project. So we had made or created a kind of like 3D preschool center. You see, so Ms. Tyler kind of explained that in preschool centers, we have to encourage children that in different areas, we have to say, okay, so for this center or this area of the classroom, so say for instance, for my project, I use the triangle table, that is where we do reading and writing. And this signals cues for the children to be able to recognize these things. So when they're at the triangle table, that's where they're quiet, and that's where they use their quiet voices. But when we're over at the dance floor, we're over at the rectangle table, that's where we use our loud voices, and that's where we express our feelings to other people, and we can explain different things about what we feel about the experiments. You see, Ms. Tyler has expressed different things to us and truly got me more introduced and interested in psychology overall, and that's exactly why, I think that these child development classes and things like that are very important no matter what field you want to go in.
Thank you. Thank you, Simone. Simone meets again in our early childhood ed pathway that happens inside of child development. Miss Tyler comes from Cincinnati, with the Consortium of African American Early Childhood Educators, one of the only apprenticeships in early childhood ed in the area. She gives up her time to come in and chat with these students, and it was powerful to see her giving feedback to an authentic project that they created. So thank you. Last, I want to wrap up by just sharing kind of what our future vision is. We want to continue to connect with more partners out in the community. Particularly for next year, these 3 partners, Taxly, which is a tax consultant, Bulky Veneer, right down the road, they manufacture and distribute through logistics veneer lumber, and Schneider Electric, which is a partner that is putting in a very large development right down the street that is chosen. We want to partner with you all as we prepare that next generation of the workforce. They're already talking about looking for students for the summer and how they can begin expanding this pathway before they even get started. Just the other day they said, hey, we already know what we want our sessions to be for next year. We're ready to roll. And so I want to thank them again for coming out earlier this year to meet with our Women in STEM Club just as we continue to create these experiences. So that's it. I'll let Mr. Bellamy come up and answer any questions you might have.
We have amazing students each and every day at Fairfield High School. Thank you so much for coming here and sharing your experience. And obviously, Mr. Malberg has been a great addition here at Fairfield High School with the vision and the hard work that he has put into this program. We couldn't be happier with the results. And we obviously, in that last slide, we looked at, hey, we wanted 4 partners and 50 students. We have well surpassed that, and we're looking at about 150 students right now that are currently in these pre-apprenticeships. So our goal is to continue to grow this and to continue just to meet the needs of our students. But at this time, if you guys have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer any of those.
And before, Mr. Begley, may I just add just a few comments before we turn it over to the board? One, kudos to the administrative team at the high school. And I will never forget when they came to me and kind of floated this out there to see what the thought was, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this would be amazing. We've always talked about meeting our kids where they are, and Mr. Bellamy shared some of those statistics that when he first started talking about how, the percentage of students and the pathways that they choose, and we do have a great partnership with Butler Tech, and they serve us very well, and unless something has changed, we are the #1 feeder school for Butler Tech and the county. So that tells you that the need is there for our student body. But there are plenty of students who don't get that opportunity at Butler Tech. So when this was suggested, I was beyond excited. So the answer was yes, yes, yes. And I remember Joe saying, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like he was beyond excited to explore this. And Elliot, Simone, I mean, I know you said your blood pressure was up, but I mean, your smile, you guys are just so happy, so excited to present over there. And I just want you to know that we're so excited about providing you with these opportunities. And I want to talk specifically about Mercy Health. They have been an outstanding partner for us over the years. And a lot of people don't realize behind the scenes, some of our leadership team meets with their leadership team probably 4 or 5 times a year. And we've been having conversations, and some folks up here tonight know that I've constantly been trying to stretch some of those people in those conversations, saying, well, what else can we do? I mean, we have a great relationship with them, great partnership, especially in regard to athletic trainers. So our relationship has evolved over time in terms of how can we partner with them, teaching and learning in the classrooms. But this has taken that partnership to a whole new level. So super excited about that because we just couldn't figure out, what to do, what was next, and this has just been amazing. So I'm super excited about that we've finally gone to the next level with Mercy. And then I don't even know that I don't even think the high school team is aware of this. Mrs. Aug is aware of it, but one of the partners listed, I believe, for next year has already reached out to me. I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday. They want to expand. They want to start at a younger age. I don't know if you're aware of this, Joe, or not. And I said, yes, let's do it. Let's start with the freshman school. They're right next door. So those conversations, more to come on those conversations. And I don't know if you noticed on the slide, but the multiplication of the number of students impacted and the number of partnerships by year. Just super excited about where we are today and what the future holds for our kids. So I just wanted to give a little bit of background, add a few additional comments, and kudos to everyone, our high school team, our students, and our partners. So that's it. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, I like this. This is a great thing you're doing. I'm probably the only one up here that didn't go to college. And I've had a great life without going to college. I mean, college is for some, not for some. There's ways to make a living. And what you guys are doing is great, helping them along with what they want to do. That's the whole thing. When you go to college, sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, and that's 4 years. But if you know what you want to do when you're 16, 17, 18, you can start it as soon as you graduate. So I think that's a great thing you're doing.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here tonight, and Elliot and Simone. You know, you can feel your joy and your excitement about this, and that makes us excited, like Billy said. You know, I remember when I worked through high school. Shout out to McDonald's on Mills Road. You know, once I got into college, I was just dying to get into the career field I wanted to be in. And every time I sent in resumes or whatever, I always got, we're looking for somebody with experience. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to get experience if nobody will hire me? You know, so you all are like miles ahead because you're already in it and you're learning things and you're taking steps to get where you want to go. And I'm so excited for your futures, and I hope you come back, you know, years down the road and let us know how things went, because I think it's going to be awesome.
I want to thank all of you, Mr. Bellamy, Mr. Mulberg, for starting this program, for bringing something that is going to be revolutionary for our students. So the fact that we can provide a program for another pathway for students who might not even know what they want to do, and now you're giving them an option to get a glimpse of it before they get a 4-year degree that they didn't know what they're getting into, you know, providing a pathway for students who didn't get into the Butler Tech program they wanted to, and now there's another option to start looking at the healthcare field or early child education or automotive before they get out of college because they weren't able to get in that lottery for Butler Tech. So like, at the age of 18, I was asked what I wanted to do with my life, and I had no idea. I didn't have this kind of program that could give me options to look and to explore before I was 18. And so the fact that we're going to provide those non-traditional pathways for our students to be able to give them the opportunities, and give them that extra leg ahead of other members and people applying for those positions is just phenomenal. Thank you so much for bringing this program for us. Elliot, I really hope that you enjoy dentist, and if not, maybe we'll see you in a hospital somewhere. And Simone, I am so impressed with how elegant you spoke, and the fact that you're only a sophomore and like already know what you want to do, and you're already working towards it. You have designed a whole daycare already, and you have this whole like concept of triangle versus square, like amazing. And I really hope that you guys go out, do amazing things, and then you guys can come back and help our pre-apprentice programs in the future. Thank you guys so much.
Simone and Elliot, I am so proud of you. That was awesome. That was awesome. Both of you spoke very, very well, better than most of us up here. And to know what you're doing, I know I kind of sound like a broken record, but you already have an idea what you want to do. That is not the way it used to be. So kudos to you. I'm very proud of you. I'm excited for you. I am your biggest fan right now. Yeah. And you know, college is not for everybody, like Mike said. I'm in banking, and I see credit reports of people that are in their mid-30s and still paying back debt for jobs or for a college degree they don't even use anymore, and it hurts my heart and it breaks my heart. And I think you mentioned, Mr. Bellamy, 40% of the kids are not going, and there's about that same number, I believe, that drop out or don't complete. It's a waste of money for them. If they had the opportunity like you're having now, or like Mr. Mulberg and Mr. Bellamy has presented to this school, that would just change many, many, many lives. So, Mr. Smith, thank you for agreeing to do this, because I absolutely love this. I couldn't love it anymore. This is fantastic, and I hope we continue to grow, to partner with Butler Tech and to have these opportunities for for students to kind of get an idea and not to get off track, but like we did the Career Fest here a couple weeks ago. That's on-site, hands-on, that students can actually talk to and see, ask questions about how things work, how businesses operate, what are the opportunities. So great job, very proud of you, and Mr. Malberg, Mr. Bellamy, thank you so much for doing this. It's awesome.
Yeah, well put. I think you're sensing that the board supports this.
I thought you would. I told Mr. Begley before the meeting, you know, we have this presentation, this one, I said, and you're going to love the presentation the high school does. Not that you didn't love the retirees presentation,
But he's
I
right.
I knew that this would be a hit.
Yeah. I'm the board's representative to Butler Tech, right? So this is huge, right? Because Butler Tech, as Mrs. Birding Miller alluded to, admission is by lottery. And so there's a lot of kids that don't get that opportunity at Fairfield, as well as all the other districts in Butler County. And so to start doing this here is so important. And one of the things that resonates at Butler Tech is, hey, we're giving them the education, but what about the credentialing? Because that's the next piece, right? So I love that you're going that far with it. In fact, I'd love to, and maybe we're already doing this, but really communicate with Butler Tech, and I'm sure they can offer you even more help and support you here in what you're doing, right? In your home school. So we'll talk to Dr. William Sprankles about that. Yeah, this is great. Simone, Elliot, wonderfully done. Thank you. Thank you.
Have you guys talked to Jungle Gyms yet?
We haven't. So the big piece of it, there has to be an apprenticeship that is tied to the career for it to be like the credentials. So we were kind of in a scare at the beginning. We were working through all fall to try to get this to be a apprenticeship for the credentials. And then last minute, we finally got the paperwork from the state of Ohio. But for us, it was either way. We saw the value of this being a great opportunity for our students. We were going to run with it anyways. But now that we get the 12-point credentials with it, with the tie to an apprenticeship, it's just kind of icing on the cake.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well done. Thank you. Great. We move forward.
Yeah.